Funktion begrüßen darf.
And I am delighted that very early on during your mandate you made it to visit us at the European Commission, also very early on during our mandate, right at the start of it. And if I may, let me commend you on forming a government, but also commend you on your very balanced cabinet with a decent and equal share of men and women. It's quite impressive. It's a very modern and a very consistent approach to forming a government. Now, we've taken a look at your government program. I've read it with great interest, and it's very ambitious indeed, and it has many linkages with our European agenda. Let me just mention a few of those issues, which I'm sure we will also be discussing bilaterally in a minute. The most important point, climate protection. It's quite impressive to see how Austria has decided to become climate neutral by 2040 already. And just like you, I also believe that climate protection, fighting climate change, that is a topic that also brings great growth opportunities for us. If we invest in innovation, in clean technologies, in new procedures, CO2 neutral procedures, then we will be the ones who can bring all this knowledge and expertise into the world, export our products. We are a front runner in this field, and I want to maintain this position on the market. And I hope the Austrian model with their ambitious objectives will be a role model for others. Another topic we will be discussing is certainly migration. And in that regard, I would like to point out that it's important that towards the end of the first quarter we could together agree on a sustainable approach to migration. From the point of view of the European Commission, it's a topic that's here to stay, we believe, and therefore we need to find an effective and efficient approach in order to make sure that the entire chain of responsibility is covered and everyone has to do their share. Be it the countries of origin and their development, be it the protection of our external borders. Our external borders have to be protected. Also, there's fighting human trafficking, and another important point, and we will need your support, reforming the doublet regime. And of course, the question of how do we deal with asylum procedures and how do we set them up together. Now, when it comes to climate protection and migration, Austria has a great level of credibility also with regards to our eastern member states of the European Union. And I hope that Austria can also help us to build bridges to the eastern part of the European Union. We will also be discussing Brexit. In a nutshell, as of the 1st of February, we will be old friends, but we have to find new ways and means and approaches for the future. The question of how close or how distant we're going to be with a view to the internal market is something we will still have to discuss and fine-tune. The closer the United Kingdom remains and the closer it is to the rules of our internal market, the better it's going to be for them, for their access, but vice versa as well. So it's up to our British partners, really. It's up to them to decide what access they want to the European market, which is the biggest market of the world. And then the Western Balkans. I know both of us share the same view. It's in our strategic interest to make sure that the Western Balkan states are as closely connected to the European Union as possible, especially when it comes to Albania and Northern Macedonia. We both fight for a decent accession prospect for those countries, and you will play an important role in that regard, and I'm looking forward to working on these topics together. To conclude, I would like to commend Austria, because as of the 1st of January, Austria has been a member of the EU for 25 years. So I'm very happy to commemorate this day together here.